Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha. So today I'm going to talk about a very important issue about India and China, whether there will be a war between the two countries according to astrology, or any other events that may happen during this period between 2020 and 2021. What are the likely dates for something catastrophic to happen, or will there be something else, and what we can do together to prevent anything that may happen in the coming few months. So I have actually read a saying somewhere. I have forgotten the person who has said it, but it reads as follows: in war, whichever side may proclaim itself victor, both sides are actually losers. Why? Because the health of the nation that is in war, both the nations, or a number of nations which are in war, the health of these nations politically, mentally, physically, everything gets deteriorated. The health of the people living in the whole country gets deteriorated. The whole circumstance gets changed, and economically both countries are shattered, especially considering the economic connection between India and China. Both countries will be affected heavily because of this. So one simple thing is that for now, according to astrology, because the Kala Sarpa Yoga has already broken down the cases of corona, or the death rate of corona and various other things that are relating to the coronavirus will slowly get reduced, and along with that our immunity has to be developed. That's a different issue, but the same way, because of this Kala Sarpa Yoga breaking away, everything is slowly getting better is what we can see day to day. And even the India-China conflict, according to me, will not occur. Only the days when the Kala Sarpa Yoga was active, that is before June 30th, actually in mid-June it was active. Those were the last few days of it, and that is when all these conflicts started happening. And then we had an eclipse June 21st, and that's when all these things after the eclipse, which I have explained in my videos, predictions for June 21st, where I explained that after June 21st things will slowly start getting better, and this is a sign of recovery for the whole world. When I say that the things will get better, doesn't mean it just comes into a party time for everyone. My dear friends, it is actually a gradual reduction, a gradual recovery. Nothing that has troubled people for months together can come down in few minutes of the June 30th getting over. So we need to wait patiently and develop our patience and our immunity for battling against diseases, and our economy to stay safe during this period. We need to stay positive, and according to me, because of this because this Kala Sarpa Yoga has broken down and now Sun is slowly exiting the sign of Mithuna itself, according to me there will be no war until December. If anything even happens even during after December, I don't think it will be mostly related and mainly related with India and China, but it will be a global issue. If it is related with India and China, that also may happen, but according to me, it is something global, especially an economic catastrophe that is awaiting us, a looming economic catastrophe, which I had explained in my video in August what would happen during this period. Already the economy is broken down, just that it needs to be seen on the stock market. The effects of it need to be seen on the stock market, which is not yet happening. But it will soon happen, because the economy has been shattered so horribly, and just the stock market rising doesn't mean the economy is as usual. It is shattered heavily, because thousands of businesses have been reduced to nil during this period. So we can just imagine the amount of destruction being that has happened during this period. But overall, according to me, there's not going to be any particular thing happening from now. And again, the governments of the world and media of the world try together and bring people to it's normal it's normal for anyone watching the news constantly 24/7 against a particular country to be against the country. One simple thing, my dear friends, it's not the Chinese people who are actually attacking us, and on China it's not the Indian people who are actually attacking, even if there's any attack. So it's not any attack from the people of both the nations. Whatever it is, it happens at the higher level of the social sector. It doesn't happen with the common civilians. So my dear friends, it is very silly of us to get angry over each other, common people and civilians, for just conflicts that are happening at the stage of governments. We must be aware of them, we must be careful, and we must actually respect the soldiers who are fighting for us during this time. But yet, one very important thing is that we need not get angry with the people of another nation. The news and the media just do this. They make us angry with others. They get us fear of diseases and force us to stay at home, forcing us to believe that there's some big catastrophe everywhere around us, and everyone around us is a big virus, and every country around us is a big enemy. So my dear friends, we need to stay out of all these assumptions and stand up and say, my dear friends, we all Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudha means the earth. Eva Kutumbakam. Our earth is our family. We need to embrace the entire earth as one. So my dear friends, here it's China and India. In another year it will be another country and another country. But now, since it's China and India, one very important message to people who are watching this video is, let's not get angry with each other for any reason. We are after all humans, so we need to stay compassionate about each other and even other creation that God has created, which I'm going to talk about. But for now, this is what I'm saying, that unless we get angry by constantly reflecting on the media and what it says about another country to us, we are going to cause a war, because people form the governments, and therefore if people are enraged, a war begins. And people who want the war to happen can make people encouraged by showing various episodes of combat between two countries, etc. So it's very important for us to stay undisturbed and undeterred and focus on protecting ourselves from something more dangerous that may arrive. Please mark my words that something more dangerous may arrive starting December 20th, actually even November 20th, when Jupiter enters into the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter and Saturn, one sign according to our ancient textbooks and ancient shastras of astrology, Jyotisha, clearly mention that whenever Jupiter and Saturn enter into one sign of the zodiac, my dear friends, one thing happens, and this one thing is that there is cholera, famine and deaths in people. There's a lot of danger that happens to people, and there are many other possibilities that may happen during this period. So this is the number one most important thing that may happen when Jupiter and Saturn come in one sign. Pestilence, death, cholera and so many other things come into picture. So starting November 20th, this begins. Cholera in the ancient pretext can be placed in various diseases. It could be any widespread disease, any disease that can kill many people may come into picture if our immunity is not fine. And now most probably it seems to be a virus, and we need to be careful of such a thing happening. In the near future, that is starting December 20th, another conjunction that happens between Jupiter and Saturn, the 6th degree of Capricorn, is a very significant one. We need to be extremely careful of this particular conjunction. It is in the Uttarashadha Nakshatra, and it's important for us to understand this conjunction. I had explained this in my video for the future of the world from 2020 to 21, and YouTube removed this video twice. It removed it for the first time, but yet taking the risks, we put it we put it for the second time, and it removed the video again for the second time. And this is where it comes, the picture comes. YouTube doesn't want us to know what is going to happen. There was no problem with the video. I was only stating the facts, what is going to happen. And this is what is going to happen, my dear friends. I reiterate it again. Anything could happen during this period. It could be a war, it could be an economic collapse or a major catastrophe, or it could also be a disaster relating to the health of millions and billions of people. So this is what is the forecast for what may happen. And going forward from December 20th till March end is the window time for the danger to happen. Especially the month of February, we need to be very careful. February, where many planets are coming together, we need to be careful about this. Well, the media generally, when talking about my predictions, does an extremely I'm not talking about all media, but certain outlets which are misunderstanding or misinterpreting my predictions and stating that I have said that a particular disease is going to end during this period. Diseases don't end. Diseases don't just collapse and just end and everyone gets fine. It's not like that. Once a disease affects us and our immunity is low, it will continue to affect us, but its severity will reduce. And that is what I've explained in my video, when will this pandemic end? You can watch that. And not only that, the media also misinterprets everything, right from the calculations of my prediction to the outcome of what I'm speaking. So I request you all, if you want to share my prediction, it is important, please do not share the media and what it says about my prediction, as I have myself seen that there are many changes in what they do with it. So next, I would also like to talk about what will happen from December 28th to March, and it could be anything, as I said, war, disease, or an economic catastrophe, or all together. And all together may seem scary and dangerous, but we have the power here. If we want to prevent a war, let's stop having anti-human, all sorts of anti-sentiments, anti-people sentiments. Why be anti-human? That's what I'm trying to ask you all, because after all our neighbors, whichever country they may be, are humans. And why be anti-human? If we are anti-human, a war is sure to happen, because unlike the past where the kings had more control, they could do a war just based on their own whims and fancies. Even now it might be like that, of course, but one very important thing to understand is we, after all, forming the governments, the government needs our anger to form a war. If at all anyone wants to form a war, they need our anger, the people's anger, the civilians' anger to form a war against the other nation. So let's stop having any enmity. And one more important thing is, more than concentrating on skirmishes, getting distracted by the skirmishes between one nation and the other, let's focus on the point. That is, we need to develop our immunity and develop our personal economy. Even if, of course, we can't develop everyone's economy, immunity is different, because if we are developing our immunity, we can help others also. Everyone in the chain will start developing their immunity. If one person is able to develop immunity, you can save your community from anything, because everyone will slowly get to know how you have made yourself healthy, and you will yourself see the signs of being healthy and immune to major diseases like this one. If you get a common cold, it doesn't mean you are not immune. It means your immune system is preparing for something, and God has given us the common coronavirus for this purpose, so that we can stay safe from more dangerous viruses like the SARS-CoV-2. And because we didn't do it, we get affected this way. Although the severity of this particular infection of the SARS-CoV-2 has been variegated and dramatized a lot, I would also like to say that it's our immunity that comes to the front lines of the battle, and the front lines of the battle is our immunity, and not the ventilators, not the drugs like remdesivir, etc. It's not the masks, it's not anything, but the front lines are our immunity. Everything else comes secondary, and ventilators are killers, and even the others can be killers, potential killers. So going to hospital can also kill you. That's a different issue. I've spoken about it in my other video, but our immunity is what is most important here, and that is what we must prepare. You can consume turmeric, Amritavalli every day, neem leaf extract without any addition every day. Stop consuming junk food completely. You can watch my 3-hour PPT on junk food condensed to 1 hour. It's called Keep Disease Away. You can watch that one also, and there are many more videos for you to watch, my dear friends, on this channel. And all of this will give you a comprehensive outlook to what we must do, including the video Let's Keep the Virus at Bay, which is a must, especially during this period. It is a 31-minute video, and everyone must watch this video from beginning to end to avoid misinterpretations about our immunity. So our immunity is the most important thing, is what I would like to say. And our economy, we can all we have to all walk an extra mile to help the people who are on the lower sections of the economy, who are poor. We need to help them. We need to start giving, if at all we get an opportunity to give a big store business and a roadside seller business, if the products are almost the same, let's move an extra mile and give the people on the lower side of the economy a chance to come up. They are the worst hit during this period, and they are struggling to survive. So we must stand up for them also, and therefore we can repair the economy of the whole nation. We need to stand up for every single person, as I said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Not only the nation, but even the world. Whatever little steps we can take, we need to do them. And not only the humans comprise the world, my dear friends, even our animal friends comprise this world. We need to take care of them. We need to take a pledge not to kill or harm a single creation of Lord. No matter how you read your scriptures, the scriptures all say one thing, whether you belong to the religion of Islam or Christianity or Hinduism. No religion advocates violence, because violence is a negative aspect of the human mind. They all advocate non-violence. And here comes the point, let's be non-violent. Let's take a pledge together to save the world from anything possibly that could happen, and by one important thing, and that one important thing is, let's stop harming any creature, harming ourselves and harming our surroundings, both mentally, physically and emotionally. During this time, even the mental health of people is suffering heavily, and that is because we are causing violence to so many creatures. If we take the number of creatures we humans kill in a year and the number of humans that die from such diseases, we will start feeling that the hype that is being created for the coronavirus is just something very small compared to what atrocities we humans commit in our everyday lives. We slaughter so many animals. Don't people think of this when they talk about mortality rates, when they talk about disease rates? Don't we need to understand one simple thing, that we humans have caused so much harm to our friend animals and we need to take care of them? So let's take a pledge not to consume any non-vegetarian food, as even consumption of non-vegetarian food forces another person to slaughter it for you, thereby bringing sin on both the person who slaughters it and you. And also that sin is not just a very small thing, but it is in fact an advanced thing. That sin forces us to go to hell, creates a negative atmosphere around us, and the whole world gets into a negative syndrome, you would say. It's a very simple fact that if we harm another creature, we get the same back. It boomerangs towards us. This is what I would like to say. So staying safe, so if you all want to know what is staying safe, please watch my video, Replacing Fear with Faith, Abhigya. So thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ramachandra, Jai Shri Lakshmi Narasimha.